Alright, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Tall Guy Gaming. I'm Harry, and we're actually going to do our first spotlight today. And of course, guests are thirsty. I wish I'd go away. Alright, so our first spotlight, I guess, or park tour, will actually be my park. Because I figured, you know what, I'm new at this, and if I mess up, it's my park. It's not your park, so you can't yell at me. So right off the bat, let's get an overview of my park. It's actually really big. It's about 80% on PS5. Why do I say a lot? I don't know. But anyway, it's actually a challenge park. It took me about a year in real time to actually build this whole entire park. Since it was a challenge park and it was actually on hard mode, I had no money to start this park. So basically I started with just a path that went over to here. And I left myself more than enough room to make this whole entire entranceway. So basically, I started out with this ride and this Frankfurter or hot dog stand, and then built from there. And then over time, you know, took out a loan, paid off the loan, hired people, put them on rosters, you know, did whatever I could. So it took a long time because as you keep building and going, you get money, and then you're like, oh, I'll come back to the front of the park and, you know, build some more, redo some stuff. So it takes a long time. But getting into it, this is my park, Carla's Gardens. When you walk right in from the spawn tunnel, there is a scavenger hunt. So this is my first park, and I decided to put a scavenger hunt in. These are the clues for all the scavenger hunt, which I will go over after, I guess, like after the video's over. So if you want to be surprised, I'm just going to show them. Actually, you know what? This has been out long enough. I'm going to show you as I find them what Easter eggs are where. So right off the bat, you walk in, I, built all this custom fencing. I left the curbs on. This was like my first park, so it is what it is. I don't really mind this curb too much. I actually added another curb back here, so looks like there's two curbs here. So whatever, probably shouldn't have did that. And you know what? I'm not gonna fix this park. It is what it is. I have a lot of other projects going on, and maybe one day in the future, in the future, I'll go to it and check it out and maybe fix some stuff or do something. But right now, this is the way it sits. I built it for a year and I'm sick of it. So what's really important to me is actually not viewpoints, sightlines. I like sightlines in parks. So like right when you get into the park, it has a really nice sign, and I just love this sight line right over here. Look, perfect. The coaster's going. That's Pompeii. That's actually in Italy. I mean, if you figure you're walking up here and you saw that, you're going to be pretty excited. Like, I got to get to that coaster. So that's just the way how I think, when I'm building, my parks like that. Sightlines are very important. I'll move buildings out of the way, make the building shorter, or I'll even, take away trees just so you can see it. So right here is just a little tour guide sign. These are people who've actually done tours of my park. I'm Tall Guy Gaming. the very famous Iron Matty's here. M&J Games, they haven't done one yet, but I talked to him. He said he's going to do one, so check his out. Tommy CM said the same thing. Nate Dogg 655, he's relatively new, maybe a couple of weeks newer than I am. He did a park tour of mine. He did a really good job. Nerd Chacho, the famous PC builder, he actually did a tour with Iron Matty. And then Diamond Dite also did a tour, and he did a very spectacular tour about, my park. So those are all the tour guides today. As more happen, I'll have to make the sign bigger. It is what it is, but, it's just a way to thank everyone for coming to check out my park and, actually, visiting the park and doing a video on it. And then, hopefully you guys can all check those out. They're all really good in their own unique way. And, give them a like and subscribe and tell them I sent you. So, right in the beginning, we got these buildings I made. I just wanted to make something like, kind of like old style, but still kind of new at the same time. So you got your season passes and group sales over here. So you got like, your little, walk through, your queue line here. You got your windows. These windows right here just made with some basic shapes. Of course, it's not going to let me split this, but it's actually 3 windows. You got one window there, and then you got 2 windows here, and then this is just the half spheroid? Yeah, it's a half spheroid. So that's all that is. And, then I put the Planet Coaster video screens above it, like, it would be like the price guide and stuff like that. And then for whatever reason, there's like a lookout tower, Maybe since it's my building, I sit from here and judge all the peasants that come to my park. I don't know. But I decided, I actually finished the park like on 148 years. So it actually finished at 148, and then I just fast forward the time to get to 150 so I could have this little celebration here. So if you look in the bottom corner, it's actually October 24th, and the year is 150. So I figured, the news crew's out, and, they're reporting it. Over here is kind of like almost the same kind of style buildings. This building's a little bit different, but these are the single day tickets. You'd come up here and purchase these like that. And then here's your entranceway. You got your sign. This is just a very easy covering with some flags. I added the lights. So, I'll take a look at night sometimes. But I just love the way, this looks at night. I mean, even the coaster, I have the coaster completely lit up. Again, perfect. The coaster just moved. It went right through. That's cool. But, I like these lights. They're very old school, but they look so cool to me. And then, just the nice dim yellow lights that go around here. I added lights in these planters, just like in the ground. You figure so people won't trip and stuff like that. But that's kind of what that looks like. Let's go back to daytime. Fireworks just went off. But here you go. Here's the entranceway. You got a couple turnstiles. I figure there's going to be someone who works here, just in case something goes wrong. Oh, there's a curb there. I just should erase that. I figure something goes wrong or whatever. There's a security camera. I have this up here. This fence up here. I don't know if you see this gray fence. That actually would be like the gate that they will pull down. So like at the end of the day, and it's all, at night, they would pull this gate down so no one can get in. Like I said, you got the security camera there, you got another security camera over here, another gentleman who works here, and you come in, and then just in case something happens, you got your couple of security guards who work here. No big deal. This is actually supposed to be the exit lane, exit only. Here's the actual sign for the newest ride in the park. It's called Polar Bear. It's actually all the way in the back. Eventually we'll get there and I'll check it out, but that's the biggest and newest ride that the park entered. And, you see a sign when you walk in, like, hopefully you get, like, hyped and stuff like that. Here's some custom-made lockers I made. No big deal. They're just, I think they're just, they're just basic shapes. I made this so long ago. Yeah, it's just basic shapes. So this is the basic shape, and then, for the handles, I just have these, the TV monitors, the small holders, and then I just did another one backwards, so you would get, like, that little bump there. And then you just have, like, just the shapes and stuff around it to actually make the outline. To be honest, when I made these, I was trying to make them the same size, and if you've seen my other videos, I eyeball a lot of stuff, and then it just didn't come out where all the spacing would have been perfect, and I said, you know what, forget it. there's lockers that are bigger, just in case something happens and you got more stuff to put in. So, we got some bigger lockers here. There's some more lockers here. Here's a Meet the Princess sign, and this is the princess's meet and greet, I guess. And then you have, this pretty nice little locker area. I guess it would be themed to her. Here's another security camera, and right underneath the security camera, we have Sneaky Pete. Sneaky Pete, you're probably going to catch him in some of my other parks. You're going to have to look around for him. He's always hiding in corners or somewhere the security camera can't see him. So go ahead and take a look. I named most of my people, not these, but some of the people in the park are named, and later parks, everyone's will be named. Here's my complaint booth that's closed because no one hopefully complained about the park. Iron Matty, he walks through the queues like he owns the place, so he gets his own VIP pass. I'll go to backstage in a minute. Here's a little restroom. I got brick. You got brick, concrete. You got wood. You got this this wood paneling I added. I just tried to make this as interesting as possible. And again, I made this probably almost a year ago. This is a pretty old building, so my style has gotten a little bit different. As you can see, it's a little weird, but you know what? It actually works. And I actually have 2 bathrooms in here. The funny story was I had 2 bathrooms when I opened the park, but bathrooms cost, I think it's like $100 or $200. I forgot what it was, but it costs, it's money that costs you a month. And I don't charge for bathrooms because that's not realistic. So I was getting such a hit on these bathrooms, I actually had to close one until I got enough money to open it up again. But then here's my little park map. That's park map holder. Let's take this out. Get in the sunlight. This is actually just made with windows. So these are the actually wooden windows. I'll split them up. There you go. It's just these wooden windows right here, and then you sink them into each other. These are twisted on their side. These are 2 windows on the top. I think these are 4 windows in the back. These are just books, and then to have the little book backings are just like this this haunted house plank. So that's all that is. I also have that on the workshop. If you want to download it, go ahead. It's under my name, Dippin' Dods, on the PlayStation 5 or PlayStation Network. We got a little fountain here. Oh, I forgot to mention Carla's Gardens. My wife's name is actually Carla, so I named the park after her. I figured she might get happy if I play it every now and then, and she won't hate me for taking up the TV all the time. So, I'll just name it after her, and she'll always feel happy. And obviously, this is my wife, Princess Carla. Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes when you're married. This is a little gift shop I made. It's CJ's Gifts. People call her CJ, not Carla. So this is a little gift shop. This was before I was really doing interiors and stuff, so I didn't even try to do an interior. If you actually go, figure... there's actually no door. You know what? I should have made a door. Alright, so this is already bad. There's no door here. But if there was a door here, they could come out to the back, and here's a little part of, I like to build a lot of realism. I wasn't as good a year ago as I am now, so it's still pretty good. It holds up. But, you got your generator, your couple of garbage cans, and, your big pails. I also like to do this where you get access. This isn't even touching. Should probably make it touch. Whatever. But you should have access onto roofs sometimes. There's a vent here. Some of my roofs have the air conditioning up there. So, you'd figure someone would have to get access up there. And then over here, I figured this was a really old sign. I figured this place is 150 years old. So maybe this used to be called CJ's Gardens, and they changed it to Carla's Gardens. So I just added a CJ, put some cobwebs, and, good to go. One of the Easter eggs is actually right here. And this is one of the Easter eggs called Buried Alive. I figured, this guy was here and he was alive and somehow he's still alive. But that's the first Easter egg. But if you come back here, we could actually go this way. So here's, I make sure to put staff only everywhere, make it more realistic. So you got your staff only signs, and then here's your backstage here. We'll go this way first. Got a little roped off section. I like to add these vending machines in the back. You figure, it didn't work or something like that, or maybe they just got it delivered and they haven't put it out yet. So, maybe this is with all the deliveries. Again, you got another ladder going up here, and I always like to put the safety tiles down, so people know. You got your big trash here. This is actually the original sign for, I think it's Octobahn is how you pronounce it. It actually means roller coaster in German, I believe. If it doesn't, just yell at me in the comments below. But that is my first roller coaster I built. It is the German one, and that's the original sign I had until I remade the sign. So then back here, I don't really take anything too seriously, so there's just this guy hanging for no reason. This is one of the pirates. This is the control booth for the fireworks, and I guess this is the pirate that works with the pirate that's on the raft that does the fireworks, which we'll look at later. And then back here, you just have like your main door to the main building, and then you got a couple more generators back here. And then this would be the transfer track for Pompeii, which we will get to later. Here it is. Again, I do my transfer tracks a little bit different now, but this is how I started. It's still pretty cool. It's got, the electric boxes and this huge computer that's not realistic, I wouldn't use again. But yeah, you figure you got to take the trains off, so here's a couple of pulleys, and you got the cable, and then this is also the Pompeii photo. There's actually a light photo on the ride, so this actually controls it. And then for whatever reason over here, there's just nuclear waste. I have no idea why there's biohazard, but it is what it is. You come out here, there's a lazy guard hitting on this girl. Get back to work, sir. Some more stuff, deliveries. Here's an extra P from the Pompeii sign that we'll see later. There's a ladder. Here is the transfer track. Another electrical box, and then you have the actual security camera here. Figure that's for the control booth, which we'll see later. This is actually, I didn't know what to do, so we'll look at this. You know what? We'll just look at this later, and I'll explain it later. So when we get to Pompeii, we'll come back here. All right, here's more backstage areas, more deliveries. Here is Jasmine's Landscaping Company. It's a custom-made truck I made for M&J Games. So this is Michael, and Michael's, YouTube camera. All the YouTubers in all my parks will have cameras, so that's how you can find them. Here's Jasmine. She loves doing floral designs and all the flowers, and she makes her parks look really beautiful. If you haven't checked one out, she, plays on the M&J Games. She makes her own parks. It's really cool, really neat to watch. But here's a couple of trees she hasn't planted yet. They'd be in these bags when you buy them. They have the dirt and the roots in them. So those are just, I think they're scarecrow heads. Of course, they're not going to let me get to them. Yeah, it's just the scarecrow heads. And then I just made them look like bags. And then, I tried to match some of the flowers that are in the parks. Figure she's making a delivery, and then she'll go plant them later. We pay her good money, so she does a good job. Here, for whatever reason, is some food that might be a little old, so if you go into this Frank's around the corner, I wouldn't eat there. It's not reliable. That might be their old sign, their old Frankfurter sign that they probably took down. A couple more garbage cans, nothing crazy. The one cool thing is that I, learned to do, there's actually pathing. This is all like the roofs. Yeah, this is all the concrete flat roof. So there's an actual pathing that goes back here. And what I like to do is I figure I make break rooms. The break rooms are actually in the backstage area. So I make it more realistic where the people who work here actually have to walk to backstage to take their break and, stuff like that. So, with that, I have to actually make rosters and stuff like that. And, it's a little time consuming, but that's how I like to play. I could actually show you right here. I got 51 staff. And there's 9 work rosters, and everyone is, completely trained, paying, and then here's their rosters. Like, this guy only works in Italy, this guy works in Russia, and that's how I, take care of everything. Each area has their own staff, and they actually, each area has their own staff, and not only do they have their own staff, where'd that guy go? I don't know where that guy went, but each area has their own colors. So like the people who work in this like front entrance area, all the vendors are wearing this outfit. And then, here you go, here's the security guard. He's pretty close in the colors. So each area actually has their own colors. And I know a lot of people don't do that, but for me, I just think it's kind of cool, and it takes 2 seconds. It makes everything look cool. But here you go, here's your welcome map. This is the little park map, also on the workshop, my workshop, if you want to check it out. It's just some wood, and it's again these TV like monitor brackets. So it looks like these little bolts. These are icing down here, and that's just a colored, a lit up TV. So like at night, it actually lights up. And then here you go. Here's more sight lines. You have the world famous scrambled right behind you, and then in the far distance, you could actually see that. I don't even know what it's called. Some kind of swing. I don't know if I don't think it's the hammer swing. It's the one that spins in a circle. I have no idea what it's called, but you know, I like the sight line of that. So I actually took a whole bunch of trees out so you can actually see it from here. And then same thing with here. If you actually look this way, and there's no one really uses it, but I think there's one of those I forgot what they're called, viewpoints. There's a viewpoint in the park map thing. So if you actually here, and they should be looking at that coaster over the over the restrooms to get them excited. So you know, right here, I use these signs too. Oh, here you go. Here's another employee, and he's lost. Get back to work. Wearing the same outfit. So these right here, I actually use these. These are, you know, you could use them as advertisement, and they are advertising. See, it says 1 of 50. It's advertising Franks. Got another security camera here. Security is very important. I put up security cameras wherever I can. And you could actually do it. You could actually look at them, the camera view, and this is what the camera would see. So if you can't see anything in this view, you would have to add another camera, like, you know, outside that camera's view. Really helps with security. But here's my first shop, Franks. So I don't know if everyone calls them Frankfurters, but over here, you know, they're called hot dogs, Frankfurters. So I figured, you know, there's a guy named Frank and he owns a Frank place. And my dog's growling for no reason. But, you know, it's a pretty nice building I made. What? Guy, I'm filming YouTube. You can't growl. Come on. But yeah, like getting back to it, this is just a little Frankfurter shop. I actually like hot dogs and pizza, so having these as the starting places to use, I enjoy. But again, I didn't have a lot to pick from. There's not a lot when you first start the game, so you know, on hard mode, you have to unlock everything. So Frankfurters it is. Just have a couple little seating in here, you know, a nice little area. And then I also didn't have money to make a drink stall at the time, so I just added a vending machine, and it's been here ever since. And people still use it, not as much. But coming over here to our first ride of the day, we're not going on it, but it's the world famous Scrambled. This is one of the rides that are unlocked in the beginning, and I do enjoy this ride in real life, so I thought it was really cool to put it in. There's all custom fencing everywhere. The curbs were taken out of here. I just tried to make, you know, some nice, I guess, shrubs and plants and stuff. Nothing crazy, nothing super vibrant. But then you can see I added the paint tool, so it actually looks, you know, like you add the dirt where all the flowers are. It looks a lot more realistic. This might be a little overgrown, but it's fine. And then, you know, you're coming up to here, and I thought this was kind of cool. I just added these, like, you know, water was coming out of these barrels. Like, you know, the basically barrels had holes in them. I wish it wasn't. I mean, I didn't really want water, but it is what it is. It's cool, like, you know, because basically this Scrambled rod is in a distillery. So I made the Q House a distillery for I don't know any reason why. I just did. And this is the Q House. And again, I try to put realism, so you have your air conditioning vents. I'm sorry. And you got another vent over here. And I believe there is a ladder. Yep, there's a ladder. So there's a ladder to get up there. So if someone had to work on it, it's not a big deal. But in, you know, my queues, again, all the people who work here are in uniforms and not wearing that blue. So this actually matches the colors I used in here on the ride. All my rides in this park have a queue time. This one only has 5 minutes. And then you have, you know, a pretty nice little queue in here. The distillery, so everything's perfectly aged since 2022 is when I made the park, so I wouldn't drink this stuff. It hasn't aged that well yet. But, you know, you just come out in here, and then, you know, I added all this around the ride operator's booth and try to make it as nice as possible. These are just, like, you know, wooden poles. That's just that box. There's a box there, and I believe these are just, is this just like a wood? Yeah, the balcony square. So it's a balcony square. And then I just added these orange flowers everywhere, you know, all the way around to make it look really nice. And, you know, it's a distillery, so it's got to have, like, you know, the wine barrels, and then I just added them in the middle. You know, it's not that great, and again, this was probably one of my first ride skins, so for what I did about a year and change ago, or a year ago, not too bad. All right, and this is Orbit. This would be the second ride that I had in the park. Um, Again, not much was unlocked in the beginning, so I had to put this in. It is what it is. Not my favorite ride, but I actually got used to it, and to be honest with you, it made me a lot of money, so I didn't really care. One thing you'll notice in my park, I hate the silver. I don't even know what they're called. The silver and green things that start the ride, the entrance to the queue. I hate them, so I cover them wherever I can, and usually it's everywhere. Again, the guy who works here is matching the colors. This queue covering here is. Let me just edit this building. This is just the frame structure, so this is already in the game, already built. And then I just added these, the cloth awnings, and there's two of them. So basically I just add them back to back, and then I just added a couple more pieces of wood here to finish it off. So this piece right here, and this piece right here up here, just to make it look a little more structurally sound. And then just added these lights. I guess they're purple, they match, and I just try to make it as nice as possible. Same thing here. I covered the white exit areas, and then I even added a custom booth for this operator as well, which kind of matches the other one because we're in the same entrance area. So like this is like its own area, I guess. But that's just windows. Windows flip backwards, and that's just, I guess that would be a lock or something like that. I'm guessing that's the handle. Maybe that's the handle. That's the TV monitor thing again, and that's the light one. So that's like a hinge. That's like the iron hanging light thing. And then if you just go around this queue, same thing. I just decorated it as much as I could. Back behind that fence is the backstage area that we'll get to a little bit later. You could actually see M&J Games truck back there, so we're not too far from the front. But I just tried to spruce it up as much as I could. I planned on making like a whole custom step area for this thing and stuff like that, but I just never got around to it. I just wanted to make it look more like permanent instead of like a fair type thing. Same thing with like covering this up, because this kind of seems like maybe a fair. But like I said, I never got around to it, and then I just figured, you know what, it's a really old park, and that's one of the original rides, and it is what it is. So that kind of finishes up the entrance area. If you want an overhead look, we'll just cut some of that out. But yeah, that's, really nice area. That's what I started out with. And, sometimes, like I said, when I'm playing on challenge mode, I run out of money. So sometimes you just got to fix things up, a couple bucks here, a couple bucks there, because that's all you got. So over time, I did come back and make this look as nice as I could. So it didn't really look like this all the time when I started playing. All right, I don't want to make this, video that long, so, we'll make them in parts. So I think we're going to skip Germany right now, and we're just going to go right to the park section. So I figured this would be maybe one of the original areas. It was maybe a park first, and then they built a theme park around everything. So the idea around that would be this guy used to live here and owned all this land, and it's some guy lived here before we bought the land. That's the statue for this guy. I try to make everything as real as possible, but I still like to laugh and have fun. I mean, it's just a game at the end of the day. So I figured that's just a guy who owned the land, and maybe they gave him $30 for the land, and he thought it was a lot, and then they built this theme park that made millions. So, his loss. But, I got a little sign area. It says park, so you come in, you're in the park area. You got a lot of butterflies, added the butterflies. I changed these plant colors a whole bunch of times because, I don't know, I really didn't like them sometimes. If you notice, this building kind of looks like the building in my tutorial video that I just put out. It's just kind of a go-to building for me. It was easy to make on the tutorial. I can make a lot of other ones, but it was just one that came to my mind really quickly. I named it Parkside Gift Shop. And if you're wondering why he went inside, this is something you could do. Come on, sir, get in there, go work. You could actually put stores inside, and you don't have. Oh, that's an Easter egg, by the way. Get out. This is the bug problem. That's another Easter egg. So that's the second Easter egg. I don't know why that bird's there. Get out of here, bird. But you could put, your shops in here. So, like, people will actually walk through this door. They have a reasoning to go inside this door. There you go. They're walking in. So, I mean, you can make stores that really don't do anything to help, theme out your areas and stuff like that. But if you make them for a purpose, it's even cooler. Over here, I just extended the building a little bit. And then you got your break room, your second work area. And then you have your bathrooms for all the people. Figure if someone's taking long, someone will sit here. Then you have a little covering right here that's, off the path. If they need a drink of water or the ATM machine. I try to keep things far off the main path, so if a line does happen, it doesn't interfere with the flow of traffic. And then I just made like a little one over here for like a little arcade. So you got your Gumball Machine, which no one in the park uses, which you shouldn't have gum in an amusement park, but it is what it is. And then you got your little claw game right there. So I just thought that added something a little bit special. And then these signs, I like using these signs. They don't really do anything. But it adds like a nice, I guess clutter or detail feel to it. Since I had all these like colorful plants on the outsides, I didn't want to do anything in the inside. I didn't want to make them like that, so I just had the scavola, and then this is just one of the other, the begonia flowers that I just made green and green, so it actually looks like just like a green bush. A couple little rocks, same thing in here. Nothing special. And then, over here I added like a little like sidewalk for no apparent reason. It just helps to break up everything. I added that over here as well. And then this is the ride that everyone says is the best ride in the whole entire game, which I don't disagree. I love this ride. I love it in real life, but it's not my favorite in the game. And I'll show you my favorite later, but this is definitely in my top 3. This one's Parkside Swings. And I just try to keep the feel of like having a park, in the queue and everything. There's the queue time again, 10 minutes. These are all the icings. The top is actually a fence. Maybe we could look on the bottom. Hold on. I'm not good with this camera. Yeah, but if you could see, these are actually like the white picket fences that I just, just kept copying across. So it gives that like, that nice look of, you can see their fences, but it gives it a really nice look, with light shining through here and there. And the brick floor really helps, draw everything together with the brick on the outside. And I think to be honest, this is the only ride operator booth in the whole park that doesn't have anything on it. And I don't know if I couldn't figure anything out or I just forgot. I don't remember. But this whole entire outside edge is all custom fencing. The curbs are left on. Now, I know everyone always says take every curb off, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Some of the curbs actually look pretty good. So I don't mind this curb. It looks pretty good. And then I just lined up the fence on top of the curb. So it actually helps. And it actually makes it look a lot cooler. Because otherwise, what am I going to do? Add, like, wood underneath it to make the curb? And I'm just going to lose more counter. So, I mean, if the curbs look good, leave them. If you think they look good, I probably should have got rid of that one. Oh, I don't think I can. It's raised. Yeah, I should have maybe covered over that one. Not a big deal. But, like I said, some of the curbs are good. Some of the curbs are bad. I'd say most of this park has no curbs. But, some areas do. And then you just got some of these lights. They're sunk into these, I think these, like, temple pieces or something. What is this? This is just stucco pillar. Yeah. And I think this is an upside-down one. Nope, it's the base. Alright, so sometimes I do take stuff and then spin things upside down. Same thing over here, you got your person colored, outfits colored to match this ride. I actually added speaking too. There's a lot of speaking things you could add and you could trigger them, so they actually say something in their Planko voice when the ride finishes. Like they're saying, like, please, exit to the left or right, or be careful, or enjoy the rest of your day here at Carla's Gardens. That's just kind of what I hope they're saying, but I don't know. All right, same thing up on top. We got the air conditioning ducts. We got a vent here. And then back here would be your other backstage. So you got this guy who's just hanging out. You got some, what is it? What is I don't know. Oh, it was like corrosive, maybe? I don't even know what that's for. But yeah, you got your ladder to get up there. You know, here's some like keypads for these doors. That one should have one. It doesn't. And this area actually goes to the front. So again, these were all made like at a later time. So you figured, all right, you know, the park would have to, you know, figure something out to make a path somewhere. So like, you know, they just kind of made this janky path that leads up to the main one and up front. But it's actually got a cool sight line right here. I didn't want to cover this, you know, figure maybe the people who work here could look at this, but that's actually a pretty good sight line of Pompeii. You know, and I thought about that too. Like, I didn't want to cover it up. I thought it was kind of cool. But yeah, like I said, you go back here and then boom, you're right back into the front. Um, Same thing, added all the lights here. I'll check it out. It's not like the most well lit, but again, you don't want it super lit because people over here, you don't want them to see it. You know, this is got all the purple lights on it for this ride. Ugh, sorry. Got all those purple lights. I don't know if we saw all the stuff lit at night. You get the Frank's lights up. All the lights are pretty nice. I think this one lights up pretty cool. But yeah, getting back to the park side, you know, you got all these lights. This ride lights up really, really amazing. And then, you know, like I said, you got this backstage here. Let's go back to day. Nope. Nope. What is going on? There we go. Alright, my bad. Just... What? I paused. Alright, so, you know, just the rest of the park over here. You got some custom fences. You got some bricks laid down. Just try to make things look interesting. You know, I didn't want it, like, oh, you know, just look boring and regular all the time. You know, like, kind of what a real park would look like. And then, just in case you think some dummy's gonna, like, you know, jump on the chair and climb over this and run, there's actually a fence back here. So I tried, like I said, I try to make it as realistic as possible. So there's a fence right here, so you can't actually run into the roller coaster. And then there's another fence back here. So if they get through one, they'd have to get through the second one, and then, you know, hopefully security will catch them in time. And then this leads to Italy. Italy would be up next, and that's our train. And that's the overview of the park area, which I believe would be the first in the story of this area, of this amusement park, Carla's Gardens. So that would be the first area, and then I figured the entrance would be the second area. So that's about it on this rundown in the beginning. I don't want to make it too long, so maybe you guys can join me on the next one. We'll either go through Germany or Italy, whichever one you guys are more excited for. And, you know, I'm trying to make it as quick as possible, but I'm still trying to show you as much as I can. If you want to see something else, you want to pull something apart, just let me know in the comments below. Please give a like and subscribe if you could. You know, just whatever. You know, just be nice, please. I don't know. I need the attention. No, I don't. All right. Well, that concludes just the entrance of this park, Carla's Gardens. And I guess next time I'll see you, we'll go through a little bit more. All right, guys. I'll see you in the next one.